Woo! I couldn't imagine being out there searching right now. Woo! I couldn't imagine. It is hotter than the dickens. But you know what? Like I said yesterday on 2 different shows about our little Javea, I am loving me some South Carolina. Even though they said they did not think she was in Aiken County. According to news reports, they have been searching Fairfield County. They drained a pond in Chester County. Now they're back at her house in Aiken County. Former home, if you know what I mean. Let's take a second and tell everybody good afternoon. This is hard to get people in at this time of day. It's dinner time, driving home time, but I know you guys are always here for the right reasons. All right, before we get to this, I probably need to call Uli because she does not get her reminders. And I think we've all noticed that she is really working hard on her top fan status. Okay. She likes being the #1 fan of the day. Fangirling. It's okay. I'm her fangirl. So let's call Laura. Where is she? Where is she at? There she is. Just give me a second. You'll enjoy this. She's probably one of her handymen.
Hello?
Hey.
Hey.
We're live right now. They're doing a live search for Javea, and it looks like you got kicked off your top fan throne, so you might want to get in there.
Okay.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you.
She's a hoot.
As people are trying to pay their respects to this memorial for Javea, trying to at least see this sign that the community is coming together through this horrible tragedy. But the work continues on, and it is at this house right here.
Yeah, and a good eye noticing the bug spray, of course, indicative that they're going to be in the woods. I know you've observed, and we've seen it too with live pictures.
Is that too loud for you guys? Outdoorsy said we are live and shit. This is some really good, let's say, they've got some real good microphones going.
Some of those officers, those Aiken County deputies walking in and out of the house. But what we don't see, of course, is the area behind the house, that very heavily wooded area.
If you remember from the 911 call that we just got yesterday from the mother, you remember her in that call saying that she often let the dogs out back to run around, and Javea actually knew that path. Again, it's unconfirmed that that story was true, of course, because that's the 911 call. We know that that was filed and it was false. But again, said that there's woods in the back behind the house. There's a path back there too. So that could be where investigators are at this point, trying to get more information too.
Yeah. And Ethan, we want to let you know, just stay where you are, continue to monitor the situation. But we do want to give a little bit of the backstory. If you're just now joining us again, investigators with Aiken County Sheriff's Office are searching Javea's home. Want to give you an update on the warrants. We got these yesterday, but boy, they were filled with a lot of new information. Those warrants telling us that both parents confessed to killing her.
They both confessed. If you missed the show from last night, please check it out if you can stomach it. Never, ever, ever put yourself in a position that's going to upset you, okay?
We knew about the arrests, but we did not know the details, and the warrants kind of filled that in.
Yeah, and that came from physical abuse. That's how the injury came about. We know that was from a severe head injury too. That was on the warrants. And again, like you said, full of information. That's why it's so important to get those, because usually it reveals information that law enforcement will not give up readily.
Right. And again, so you know at home, I know so many of you have been following this closely. Warrants are public records, so they were released to us. That is something that investigators by law were able to give us because they are considered public records. And something else we learned in this, her mother admitted to disposing of her body. Now think about this. Her mother just gave birth during that 911 call. Again, if the timing can be believed, she said she was, 39 weeks pregnant. So even in the timeline of when they say little Javea was killed, there was a very pregnant woman admitting in a warrant that she was the one who disposed of the body.
Yeah, again, that was shocking information to hear when we did get those warrants. But just to fill you in again on some background, tonight marks 7 days since that 911 call triggered this entire investigation. And now this investigation has progressed back to Javea's family home where this 911 call started it all too. And now we know that that 911 call was fake. But again, if you guys are just now joining us, investigators with the Aiken County Sheriff's Office are back at that family's house. They are searching inside and behind the house in the woods. We've seen investigators go inside with brown bags, which are likely an indication of evidence bags.
Right. And we were just seeing that sled helicopter. Important to note as well, while this search is going on, we do know that there is a second search, another very concentrated search about 2 hours from here, right in Fairfield County, right at the Chester County line. I've been out there a bunch. I was out there all day Saturday. I was out there again yesterday. And we know that DNR is especially interested in a body of water. It's the Debutary Creek access area. It's blocked off, but we were able to observe, there we go, we were able to observe cars coming and going. So just so you know, we weren't able to get access to this, but a number of investigators are back there with drone teams. We've seen marked cars, unmarked cars. This is pretty much the scene of everyone coming and going. So what they're doing is really behind a curtain of trees. We don't know what they're doing. We just know that the intensity of the investigation has really picked up.
And
Hey, y'all. My friend Linda's here. Everyone say hi to Linda. Rexy just got here. Where are they searching? Aiken County, in the woods, by her house. They've got crime scene tape up and everything.
you actually took a Google Street View down this road this morning and posted that on Facebook too, which gives us a good idea of where this leads to. Is actually a fork in the road, right? When you get down here.
There's a fork in the road. There's a boat ramp there, but honestly, it looks a lot like this does. It's heavily wooded. It's a gravel road, and the Street View I took was from June of 2023, a little outdated. But to tell you, at least from this point, this picture looked the same as the Google Street View looked from a couple of years ago. But you go down a road, and it's a ways. So, we were hearing drones when I was there Saturday, but I didn't hear them yesterday. That may have been because of the storms. But the area where the water is quite a distance. Like you look, or is it just around the corner? No. You have to go quite a ways to get to the water. Yeah. And that was eye-opening for me because, this was as far as I made, and rightfully so, not saying we needed access, but this was as far as we were able to go.
And this was all found out through public information. I know a lot of people were saying, well, Aiken County wanted to conceal this information. We found this through SLED's helicopter's flight path on Saturday after around noon when it took off, and we put 2 and 2 together, and then you actually ran in to some of Javea's family. But I
Not only am I loving South Carolina's law enforcement now, I'm loving their media. They're following around the SLED helicopters. And no, it's not Jules doing it. It's their local media. They're not giving up on this little girl.
know a lot of people have also been asking if the parents had confessed. That's what the warrants say. Why are they not able to locate Javea as quickly as they can? Right. And the reason is on the warrants, it says that the physical abuse that was caused to her, the injury, was from May 1st to June 15th. So that was almost 2 months ago, right, at this time. So quite a while ago that this possibly could have happened. Again, we don't know when she passed away, but this could have been a while ago, and they don't know an exact location.
Sure. And also, it could not have come out in the confession. Maybe that is something they withheld, and they're searching that area because phone records or other evidence they were able to find led them to that search area. So We don't know why they were there, and we don't know why they're at the home today. We just know that they are, and we just know that it is.
Rexy said, I thought they were looking at their old residence area. Girl, I don't know where they're not looking. They have torn up Fairfield County. They've been in Chester County. And now they're backtracking to the residence in Aiken County. They're going to find her. They believe she hasn't been around for at least 2 months. They said could be a month back, but now they're backtracking that a little bit.
Significant, and it is important to update the investigation because it looks as though investigators are making some headway.
And if we still have that shot of the family's home, I want to bring that back up so people just now joining us can get another look and we can see what investigators are also doing there at the house here this afternoon. But this is we're learning here today. Here's a different angle of that shot. Gives you a better idea of what investigators are doing on scene, what the layout is too as the crime scene tape is up. That's new this afternoon. Investigators have been going in and out of that house and then in the woods behind the house too.
Yeah, and again, full transparency, we were not tipped off to this, just like we weren't tipped off to the other search location. Your Ethan Hunter just was there getting video. He was talking about children laying stuffed animals and putting balloons at the memorial. And then all of a sudden, investigators showed up, put up that crime scene tape, and then began their investigation again.
So still so many questions with this. Of course, we'll keep you guys updated throughout this afternoon. You can see investigators here on your screen. So I know a lot of them were putting on bug spray from what Ethan said. So they could be out here for a while, could be deep in the woods back there too. We don't know exactly.
They say they've had kind of an ornery summer. And back in those woods is heavily over the top with mosquitoes. And they keep having to come out to get a breath of air and, of course, continue to spray themselves with bug spray. They're getting eaten alive out there, and it's hot.
Exactly what they're looking for. They had cameras as well, so looks like they're digging in their bins for other tools maybe that they're going to be using here on scene.
Yeah, and again, we have confirmed that this is with the Aiken County Sheriff's Office. We know multiple agencies, SLED, even the FBI has been involved in this, but we do know that these investigators are with the Aiken County Sheriff's Office.
And this is something we'll follow throughout this afternoon. I know we want to...
All right, so as you can see, they have evidence bags. That doesn't mean little Javea is out there. But let's face it, whoever buried her probably wasn't the most ambitious of people. And because her so-called mom confessed, that's not ironclad. No. But since the warrants came out yesterday, not the warrants, I'm sorry, well, the warrants with confessions, if you want to call it that, and the 911 call, it's put a different pep in the step.
Get off of this for a second. We'll bring it back as soon as we can. We'll toss things over to your first alert meteorologist, Malik Bryant, for a check of your forecast. Malik.
Yes, another hot day. It looked like there might be some trash. I could see a couple of cans that they were tossing aside, but it does look like they have a shovel and are going through some debris back in the backyard in the woods behind Javea Harris's home. There's about 5 unmarked vehicles here. We did not know what they were doing when they showed up. Like you said, we came just to talk to some neighbors, see the memorial as it has been growing, and saw that the crime scene tape is back up, and investigators are here looking. The man with the shovel that walked back there, the investigator has a camera as well. We have seen them with cameras with what appears to be evidence bags and gloves walking in and out of the home and in and out of the backyard woods. Now we have seen them with a shovel as well. So going through looking at evidence is what it seems is happening here, but this is all new within the last hour.
And again, this is...
Okay, so they've expanded the crime scene tape, evidence bags, and now investigators have shovels. Will you make of that what you will? I have no words. I have no words.
This is new because there was originally only one area that investigators were searching, and that was the area in the upstate where you were all day Saturday and yesterday.
Right. It's about 2 hours from here. To give you an idea of that, it's on the Chester County, Fairfield County line. They're searching a area with a lot of water. So interesting now that we hear deputies are picking up a shovel and heading into the woods. So it looks like they're going to be digging while we've got, 2 hours away. It's a water search, it appears to be.
Yeah, and you heard Ethan say on scene, we saw this too earlier in the show, investigators grabbing what looked like brown evidence bags and walking in and out of that home. Investigators had black gloves on too, so looks like they're making sure to contain that crime scene as well.
Yes.
Or what is evidently a crime scene
right.
now.
And this is where the family lived, not for very long as they moved to our area, but we are, again, learning more and more information just as we are out there watching, again, that crime scene tape go up. That has not been up until today.
Yeah, these are Aiken County investigators too. And this is something that we just stumbled upon. We were just out there trying to get video of that memorial and ended up finding the crime scene tape and investigators out there. So this is something we will continue to follow as we head into News 12 at 6 o'clock. Stick with us.
Okay, while they're taking their little break, I don't think we need to so much listen to the local news. We know the local news. Let's listen to the 911 call, full 911 call that came out yesterday. We spoke about it last night, and we're gonna hear it again.
Year-old Javea Harris confessed to killing their daughter and getting rid of her body in newly obtained warrants. Plus,
And remember the name of our show, Crime, Lines, and Lies. There's a crime line, a timeline. Criminals freaking lie. They can confess to inventing ice. They're lying. Just because she said she got rid of Javea's body, and I hate saying it that way, I am quoting her. Nasty, nasty thing to say. Doesn't mean she did.
hearing the 911 call from Javea's mother the night she went missing.
She was outside playing, and I came out here after cooking dinner a little bit, and I'm looking for her, but I don't see her nowhere.
And tonight we're continuing to follow the investigation into Javea Harris's death and the search for her body that's still ongoing.
Warrants say both parents failed to get medical attention for Javea after suffering an injury from physical abuse between May 1st and June 15th. Her parents, Jamoria Harris and Michelle Herring, are both charged with homicide by child abuse, with Herring also facing a charge of filing a false police report. They were both denied bond over the weekend. DSS says the couple had another baby the same night Javea was reported missing. They say that baby is in the custody of another family member.
With the maternal family, the maternal as in mom's family, okay? And you know, so-called dad's family is super mad because they were the ones that were ringing all the bells to get DSS to remove Javea and bring her to them. They never liked Cookie, and they didn't trust Mad Dog.
And tonight, your Sydney Hood joins us in the studio to break down the warrants and the 911 call, which tell two very different stories, Sydney.
And in that 911 call, Will, Javea's mother was very descriptive, from describing what Javea was wearing the night she reported her missing to what she was doing at the house as well. In that call, Michelle Herring tells dispatchers she stepped inside to cook dinner, told 4-year-old Javea it was almost time to come in, and when she came back outside, her daughter was gone. She says she last saw her no more than 20 to 30 minutes before that call. She tells the dispatcher she checked the chicken coop, where she says she finds Javea every day, and she wasn't there.
Oh my God.
Okay, I'm on the way to you. Just to confirm,
Where was she in the house when you saw her last? No, she wasn't in the house, ma'am. She been playing outside today. And she asked me, can she play for a little bit more before it got dark? And I said yes. And I literally, her bath water is in the tub, ran, and dinner is cooking, and I came out here to get her, and I can't even find her. Okay, is there a certain place she likes to play outside?
Oh my gosh. She's a psychopath. She's a psychopath. And the reason she is talking so hectic, besides the big old fat lie she's making up, it's because she's in labor. She probably ran a bath for herself. You know, she wasn't running no bath for Javea. Javea's been gone for probably 2 months. Because when law enforcement in any state in United States of America says approximately a month, I'm telling you what, it's always longer. I'm going to give a lot of credit to South Carolina, and I mean a lot, because this is ballsy releasing this call.
Usually in the chicken coop, and that's usually where I find her every day. And I just looked in here, and she's not in here.
From there, the questions turned into where Javea might have gone. Herring told dispatchers she had already checked the chicken coop and then checked in the wooded path behind their home. Herring also tells dispatchers that Javea is friendly, not afraid of strangers. Dispatchers asked if Javea had any health issues. Herring mentions autism, but no formal diagnosis had been made. She says, quote, she is very smart. She can carry on a full conversation. In the call, Herring also says that she is 39 weeks pregnant, telling dispatchers she cannot keep up with her daughter the way she normally would.
Me and my husband just now purchased in this house. I don't know about this area.
Listen, home skillet, he's not your husband. He's your, what do they say? What do the cool people say? Baby daddy. He's your Facebook husband. You're in pain from labor. That's what you're doing. That's the reason you're so hectic.
Very much, but it's not a good area. I'll tell you that. It's not good.
Because you're there.
Okay, you say you searched the woods. Is that behind your house? Yes, it's like a pathway right behind my house, and we usually take the dog sometimes in the woods to just let them run, and she'll come, so I know she knows about the woods. And but I look down the same pathway that we walk, and I do not see her.
We now know that everything in that call is not what happened. The arrest warrants that I have here say everything in that call is not true. Will, the warrants use strong language here, saying that both parents showed, and I want to read quote for quote here, extreme indifference to human life by not seeking medical attention for Javea after knowing she suffered physical abuse, which the arrest warrants say were at the hands of Herring.
And both parents are charged with homicide by child abuse, like we know. Herring also charged with filing a false police report, and on her warrants for that charge, they also mentioned that the mother had said that Javea was abducted. They conducted interviews. They found out that that wasn't true, and then that's when the mother also said that that she had gotten rid of Javea's body in another location. But going back to that 911 call.
Okay. Oh boy, read my mind. You go back to the 911 call where she said, we had our dogs out in the woods. So she knew how to get out in the woods. Sometimes she liked to play out in the woods. Where are they searching, my friends? In the woods. Hey, we have 50 people in here. Not asking too much for 50 likes. Come on. Come on. Lock it up.
It is completely not true. So you hear the entire story as she's telling dispatchers. It's just unbelievable and shocking to hear that entire story happen, knowing what we know now. And she gave an entire description of Javea that night, even saying that she talked to her and that Javea said that she wanted to play outside a little bit longer and didn't want to come inside. The mother also saying that Javea was wearing pink Minnie Mouse pajamas and had pink beads in her hair that night. So giving a very descriptive image of what Javea looked like when she had gone missing. We know that's not true at this point and that she had been deceased for at least a month before that 911 call happened. It's just unbelievable.
And knowing what happened in response to that 911 call, the massive search that started that Tuesday night, the hundreds of law enforcement that showed up to Bethel Baptist Church, which is the staging area that they met at before starting the search each day, knowing the amount of resources that went into the search, the thousands of acres that they covered, and the strangers that were worried about this little girl, wanting to find her, holding on to hope that she was out there somewhere. And
think about this just for a second. Humor me. It's almost 7 o'clock in South Carolina. These people have not stopped looking for her. Oh, no, they have not. They're draining ponds. You have grown men out in mosquito-infested woods with shovels right now. Let's get back to the search, my friends.
Forecast.
Yeah, it's been another hot one here across the CSRA. Here are those current temperatures into the 90s, and we're going to continue to stay that way as we head into your tomorrow as well. So midnight.
Okay, they are on one area. They are all circled around one area. And old boy looks to be like he is bitching up a storm, and he's not bitching about the heat. No. Because their adrenaline is pumping.
Keep going.
Javea used to put up the two fingers as in peace. She's not in a gang. There's a coroner on site, which is not uncommon.
Stay on Sydney, right?
My granddaughter points and goes, "Ah!" This is pretty eerie. You know, every time I hear these damn freaks say defund the police, we don't need them, I want them to watch this video. Not being political at all, being moral. No politics at all. You want to defund the police? Then you get your happy ass out there and you start digging. Great question, Odin's Goddess. And by the way, what a cool name. It has not been confirmed publicly that the new baby had rugs in the system. This has only been reported by the family. I hope it's not true, but I'm not going to say that they're lying until, well, if it comes out they're lying, then that's a horrible lie to make up.
House. Can't, like I said, can't see for sure what they're doing back there. This is as close as we can get, but I can see movement going on back there. But that does tell me that they aren't far deep into the woods where we can't see them at all. We can still see them. They're just covered up by this truck and by some shrubbery in the woods. And it looked like the coroner's, or it looks like one of the investigators went back there with another evidence bag as they're still back here behind the house. It looks like they're looking at different things on the ground. And just to give you an idea, the coroner's office is on scene investigating. That's who you're seeing right here. And sources have told us that this is a search for collecting evidence in the case, but not part of the search for the little girl's remains, for Javea Harris's remains at this point. Still, we want to be careful about what we're showing and what you're seeing as well. We want to be as respectful as we can with this situation too.
Listen, she needs to be found, but this is not my first rodeo, Tana's first rodeo, Duck Lady's, Angie's, Odin's, Uli's, Mrs. T. A week ago, they said she wandered off and we're looking for her. We know now they didn't believe the load of wet hooey from the 911 call. Something was off from the get.
So this is just a drastic.
Oh my gosh, Aunt Sherry. You know, I tell you what, I would do anything to have a one-on-one interview with Daisy. If a baby tests positive for drugs in their system, they are removed at the hospital. Daisy is an OB/GYN nurse. Is she not doing Lifeline anymore, Auntie Sherry? I would love to know what old Trapper John, MD, is up to these days, because I really miss her medical advice. Let's all have a round of applause for our first responders, like Daisy. Fuck me.
Difference from what we saw earlier, late last week, and then over the weekend too. The search was happening up in the Great Falls, South Carolina area, which is in the upstate near the Fairfield and Chester County state lines, county lines, excuse me. And that's when we saw a large DNR enforcement up there, large law enforcement presence. You couldn't get down a boat ramp up there, very rural area. Now it seems like this has shifted maybe back here at home, and the focus is on the family's house right here as you're taking a look, as they now have this roped off with crime scene tape, which is right next to the growing memorial that's out front too. So still a lot more with all this. This gives us more answers than questions than it does answers right now.
And all of this comes 1 week, exactly 1 week since Javea was first reported missing by her mother. We released those 911 calls to you all yesterday. Certainly that story that she put out there, not true. And we knew that as soon as we got the warrants. It told a completely different story. But today marking exactly 1 week since Javea was first reported missing, we've been talking about that growing memorial, the growing outpour of support from the community for this little girl that they don't even know. That's why we came to this site today when Ethan went out there to get new video of that memorial that's just growing with balloons, Minnie Mouse, stuffed animals right in front of her home. You're taking a look at it there. And since then, vigils have been held. We know there was a vigil Sunday, Will. You went out there and
Sherry. Mirror, Sherry. Mirror, Sherry. While we're waiting on them to come out of the woods, and I do not believe for a second this news station is going to give more info than they already have. Auntie Sherry said she was teaching folks who do not know. Be nice. I am being nice. That's why I said mirror, Sherry. I had a few more medical questions. I want you to arrange that interview. I do. Okay, I'll bite. Sherry, can you grab the link and come up? We can talk while we're waiting for them to come out of the woods. And by the way, this is no disrespect to Javea.
Right now, a very night and day scene out here. As I said earlier, I was out here by the memorial at around 2 o'clock this afternoon. So some 4.5 hours ago, and there wasn't a soul out here. It was quiet. We've obviously seen this memorial grow outside of our house by the days, and after 5 o'clock,
All right. So the official statement is they are not, quote unquote, searching for Javea. Okay. Do your air quotes with me. Quote unquote. They are just collecting evidence. Well, they've been there for quite a while. And I have counted quite a few evidence bags. And who's at the back door? We Scottish Ma said, why does it feel like evil is winning? You know what? I felt that way for a while. I have had somewhat of a dark cloud over me for a while. But when I look at the good in the world and good people, good friends, truth tellers, I know that there's no way evil can overcome. And I have to stick with that. Speaking of evil, Evel Knievel's backstage.
Because I'm a truth teller. People don't like me because I'm a truth teller.
You know,
You're not popular if you tell the truth. I'll just tell you that.
Well, thank you for rolling right in like that. So I want to make this interview happen with Miss Daisy. I have no issues with her. I mean, none at all.
No, you shouldn't. I love Miss Daisy. We've had our issues before, but I love her, and I know she loves me. And I will probably have to get Jakey's to contact her because every time I call her, she is like busy. She's really working. And I don't know about the life flight thing, but if she did that, all the more respect to Daisy.
Tell you what, I mean, I'll do an Applebee's, a Buc-ee's, or a Walmart's gift card for her if she comes up, because she deserves it. I have nothing but respect for our first responders.
Or Hobby Lobby.
Okay,
she loves Hobby Lobby.
Okay, make it happen, Sherry. This is on you, girlfriend.
Okay, I will.
I was talking to your Ethan Hunter, and he was saying that that's when he tends to see more people come over here to the memorial because more people are getting off of work to leave stuffed animals behind for Javea. And he says that a lot of them were out here wanting to leave something by the.
You know how many times I've been a finalist on Turtle Island?
I hate that show. I'm sorry. I'm the only one in the world who hates it.
Well, I didn't see it last night. Crystal said she voted.
I don't even watch it because I don't believe in it. That's how I feel.
It's just a funny YouTube game show. That's it.
I know.
Memorial whenever they saw the same thing that we are looking at right now, and that is the yellow crime scene tape and the unmarked vehicles out here, which we've now learned are from the Aiken County Sheriff's Office. But like I said, we're all watching this in real time with you all as we see movement going on behind this truck. Can't see exactly what they're doing over there. This is as close as we can get, and is as close as we are going to get because this is a sensitive situation and we want to respect that. We have asked the Aiken County Sheriff's Office if they could tell us anything about what they're doing out here, and they said that this is an active investigation and they cannot give all of the details as to what they are doing out here. You see a deputy walk in towards us right now going beside the truck. He has on black rubber gloves right now, coming from behind the truck where they've been this entire time that I've been out here. But like I said, a lot of movement that is going on out here. But if anything, that all of this has brought on more questions than answers, guys, that we are working to
bringing anything out. She said no, but they were walking in with gloves, evidence bags. So, of course, their evidence investigation is also happening inside, too.
Yeah, they rolled out a tarp as well back there, and we're taking some photos. So it's going to be interesting to see what evidence they collect here. This is for collecting evidence, not for remains at this point. That's what we were told by sources here. So it's going to be interesting to see what they find at this family's home. I know we won't find out any.
They're not going to say anything. They're going to, they'll do a presser separately, whatever comes of this. Why would they be bringing out tarps, Sherry? Just your opinion only.
Why would they bring, what? So, I'm sorry.
Tarps out.
Tarps?
Yeah.
Oh, Possibly to make a tent if they didn't bring a tent with them to
Mhm.
cover what they're exposing. Usually they put a tent up. If they put the tent up, then I know that something's really going on. If they're using tarps, I think that's just what they had at the time, maybe.
Mhm. Mhm. Metal Dust, love the name. Gotcha. I was getting ready to say that no one is going to send you to an island. No shit. That's my life, and I need to be laying on an island right now.
Time soon. As you can see, more
Let's
and more
go.
people who are showing up with stuffed animals and balloons to add to that ever-growing memorial out front of Javea's home.
And we were told another vigil is happening this Thursday. The community encouraged to wear pink and or Minnie Mouse clothing tomorrow in honor of Javea. We're going to continue to follow this as investigators search Javea's home. We're going to have more on 26 News at 7 o'clock, where we're going to bring you more live reports from your Sydney Hood and your Ethan Hunter.
Janica read the room and read my mind. Do you remember when they were doing the dig for JJ and Tylee?
Yes.
When they had all the tarps out.
Yep. If so, they don't have a tent. Usually it's a tent they'll put up, but if they don't have that, then the tarps will act as well because they have stakes and stuff to planted in the ground around the perimeter of where they're working.
Remember why they brought the tarps out though for JJ
So
and
nobody can see what they're doing. That's why.
Okay. That's a good way to look at it, but it's a little more involved than that. That's one of the most horrible probable causes I've ever read in my life. And Janica, thank you for bringing that up.
Brooks, I'm already on it, baby. I've already contacted Cheekies and asked her to help me with this. So I'm on it. Okay, baby? Give me a job, but I'll do it for you, and I'll do it well. Yeah, the tarps. They're wanting to cover up what they don't want us to see. Them digging. They're all wearing gloves. They've brought out brown paper bags of evidence, which is
Lots.
what they use. That's usually what they use. Usually what they use. That's what they use.
They brought the tarps out. It's really not the only case. It's one that people are most familiar with, as in the case of JJ and Tylee.
Yes.
And they also had a forensic anthropologist in the background going through what was dug up. They placed evidence on it. They're not making a campsite.
No, they're not. They're looking for that they can find. Clothing, hair.
On here. I've seen this block of Hillsborough Street grow since I've been out here. Like I said, right before 6 o'clock, it is starting to get a little bit crowded out here, and deputies say that they want this roadway to be cleared. So if you do have to travel in this area, if you live around here, just be mindful of what's going on out here. If we want to show what's going on by the house now, I'm going to leave the shot here as we need to move because there's a car trying to get to their house right now. So I'm just going to toss it back to you all in the studio for now. If we want to take Ethan's shot, he has a different camera angle. We need to move from where we're at right now.
Okay.
So just a drastic difference from over the weekend to now. We know that search was happening in the upstate of South Carolina. It still could be happening up there, but now the focus is on the home of Javea Harris here in Aiken County at this point, as you're seeing a large law enforcement presence along with a large community presence out front of this house here. Again, you heard from Sydney there. We're going to rehash some information just because that's what we have. And for those.
Yes, Aggie. That's the first time I remember, because I used to watch headline news every night with Nancy Grace, and before it was, what was her name? Jane Velez Mitchell. And they showed the tarps. When they the natural gas worker.
They did.
When he found a skull. They did it for Madeline Soto too. I tell you what, I can't do this. Tell you what, I can go take a nap. Y'all can do this show yourself. You little geniuses.
What are we? We're just little pests. That's all we are.
Nah, not at all. Great friends.
Cooking dinner a little bit, and I'm looking for her, but I don't see her nowhere.
Okay. How long ago did you see her, ma'am? When was the last time you saw her?
We love each other.
I just came out here like no less than 20 or 30 minutes ago. I went in the house to cook dinner, and I told her it's time to come in once it starts getting dark. And when I came out here,
Just take a breath for me, okay?
I'm not a genius, but I'll tell you one thing. That lady
Again, that was the mother calling Aiken County deputies for help, saying that Javea had been abducted. We learned that from the warrant.
Did you see the show last night, Sherry?
I think I did. I watch everything.
I know you do. You're very smart.
I watch you.
Good deal. She was in labor.
Oh, yeah. Isn't that a good way to disguise it? Uh-huh. That's a good way to disguise her being hectic and frantic.
And she said she was 39 weeks pregnant. Impossible. Her due date was July 15th.
Well,
very easy to go into labor early, though.
Of course.
It really is when you're...
Most mothers pray for that. They're ready to go.
Yep.
She said she was abducted, and they learned that that was not true. And she said that she was inside cooking dinner, 39 weeks pregnant, had run a bath for Javea, even had a conversation with deputies saying that Javea wanted to keep playing outside. She had told her that. We know that that is not true, as it looks like we'll try to move our cameras away from that. We're not sure what they're pulling out of here, so we'll try, but it looked like it was a big blue tarp and they were carrying something. So again, we want to be careful with what we're showing here. And we were told that this was evidence and not remains. But again, we just want to be careful.
Absolutely. We don't know exactly what that evidence is, but right now, actually, we're being told from a reporter on scene that they do have clothes in their hands and they are putting them in bags. So again, we do.
Yes.
Where is Angel P? Because she called it. They have clothing in their hands.
Angel P is in the chat.
Thank you. I know. I'm giving her some acts, some accolades.
Okay.
Because they said they're putting clothing into the evidence bags.
Okay. Still want to be sensitive as this investigation is happening and as they look for evidence. It's happening both outside, inside the home. We're marking exactly 1 week since that 911 call was originally made. We received those 911 calls just yesterday. And Will, a lot of us here listened to it for the very first time, of course, already knowing what we know now. Yep. It was really hard to hear because you hear this mom and she sounds like, she's really frantic about her little girl missing. Certainly a lie, not true.
It was really hard to listen to be completely transparent. It was very difficult to hear, knowing the outcome that we know now. And again, she was 39 weeks pregnant, so she very well could have been dealing with some of.
Well, either her doctor lied to her about her due date, or she lied to her brother about her due date. Because June 30th is not July 15th. And by the way, there is our playlist if you want to catch up on this case, because Javea deserves it. And remember, if you're watching this on the replay, please double check to make sure you're subscribed, and please leave me a comment. I love your comments.
Maybe contractions, who knows? It begs the question, right? She was 39 weeks pregnant, gave birth to a child later that night that we now know is with family members. So that could have been the case as well. And then I also talked to the father on Thursday last week, Jamari Harris. I had a phone interview with him Thursday afternoon, and he gave me an entire story about where he was while all of this was happening. Told me he went to 3 or 4 stores because Javea wanted some candy, and he had ended up getting gas, got some Mad Dogs, and then ended up at a laundromat, saw the cops, thought that his girlfriend had gone into labor, so he raced home, and that's when he saw a large police presence after that 911 call was made, and told me that he...
That doesn't make sense to me.
His ass knew she was in labor, and he had to make sure he was away so they could create the script, the alibi.
Exactly.
He had no idea what had happened to Javea, and now we know that that is likely not a true story, and that Javea had been dead for at least a month before that 911 call came in. And when I had that conversation with Jamarie too, and again, both are still behind bars, held without bond, and they will be going to another judge in the next 30 days to see if they do qualify for bond. As you're taking a look at their mugshots here tonight.
Yeah, it's really just one thing after the other. Since she was first reported missing Tuesday, new details just began to slowly come out within the week, and here we are today.
And you pick up on new details every time you hear that interview with the father. That's on our website if you want to listen, or if you listen to that 911 call, you just pick up on little details about what was told to dispatchers and what he told me. And what she said in that 911 call is that there's actually a walking path behind the home that she said Javea had gone to many times, and that people would walk on behind their home. So maybe that was true, maybe that wasn't true, but investigators were back there behind the home in the woods looking this afternoon.
Exactly. And initially, this is where the search all started a week ago. And here we are today, back at the home. You just took a live look at that visual growing. We know that there's a line of people out there right now just standing around wanting
This point.
And we know that it's a heavy presence right now, not with just law enforcement, but community members. Community members have showed up lining the streets in what we can only assume in support of Javea Harris. As you take a live look at that growing memorial, we followed this memorial since it was first started, and certainly it's grown over time. We are marking exactly 1 week since that initial 911 call of Javea being reported missing happened. And again,
this is incredible. That is incredible how many people have showed up here to either put something at that memorial or just see what's going on with investigators at the scene. I mean, that is incredible. This is for a 4-year-old girl that they likely never knew or never heard of before all of this happened, and everyone showing up to the scene here to pay their respects and also keep updated with this investigation.
They're nosy neighbors. They're just like Brooks. She always says she's nosy. I called you out on it, didn't I?
That's right, baby. Do you think that they're just being nosy, or do you think that they're?
I think they're being interested and nosy. It's in their neighborhood.
You know, I can say that if this was in my neighborhood, I would be very, very concerned. I can be nosy, figuring out who's mowing their lawn what day. But when you have something like this going on in your backyard, I see this woman walking up with her little girl right now, and it looks like she's got something to put at the memorial. It seems to me that they're very concerned citizens. And I say, bless them.
I said either nosy or they're concerned or they're interested.
I'm just saying that's how I look at it. And don't get me wrong. There's some looky-loos out there that want to see what's going on.
Yes. I just pray they find her. And
investigation too. This is a small neighborhood off of Edgefield Highway. If you're familiar with this area in Aiken County, I mean, it is tucked back here and it's very quiet. There's not a lot going on. There's a few vacant houses next.
Okay, before we get to the rest of this, and by the way, we are doing this live, so I do not know the outcome. But our friend September Angel is in here. Uh-oh. And hold on, give me a second. Sherry, can you entertain everybody while I reset this?
Why, certainly. I'm used to entertaining. I've got a trivia game going on later tonight. I'm used to entertaining. I was a teacher. To be a teacher and competing against computers, you had to be entertaining and teach the curriculum and, civil responsibilities. And I can't even name you all the stuff because I taught it all.
Okay, I'm back. Let's see if this works.
So, anyway, And I've always been a true crime.
It froze up on me. But our friend September Angel has been in
Well,
the.
you asked me to entertain.
I'm
Good
back.
gosh.
You're doing great. You're doing great, Johnny Carson.
I'm doing you killed me.
But our friend September Angel has been in the hospital. She just told me about it. And let's take a second and wish her well.
I read true crime books way before there were computers.
Really?
My friend and I were crazy about it when we would read them and switch.
Like which ones?
So, I mean, everything from Ted Bundy, Jack the Ripper, it didn't matter.
What was the first case that you really heavily followed, Sherry?
Feel better, September Angel. Some of these kids, I suspect, are taking their own toys there. I suspect they would want to give something of theirs.
Is that not sweet?
Lola, they're on the computer. They're not near neighborhood. Wow, that's really close to the structure, isn't it? They didn't go too far.
I don't know, but we have more law enforcement arriving. What was the first active case you followed, Sherry? Sherry, are you awake? Damn.
They did not go too far to lay that baby down.
If that's what's going on, but there's more law enforcement showing up.
Yeah, Chedaka, where's the chickens? Where are the chickens? I can't believe how close they are to that structure. Is that the home that they're digging close to?
Yes, that's the last known resident
Wow.
of Javea and her mother and her father from time to time, because he was flopping with another girl across town. And they have already investigated this home, but I think after more communications with so-called mom and so-called dad, now they're out there, and some of the evidence bags contain clothing. And let's face it, neither Cookie or Mad Dog went and buried their own clothing.
He was following you there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have cadaver dogs been brought in? Do you know,
Yep.
Brooks?
Yes, they have, Sherry. They brought in scent
Anyone?
dogs. They brought in scent dogs and cadaver dogs. The cadaver dogs hit on the dad's truck.
I haven't seen any chickens either. But I want to know if the barking is cadaver dogs. And have they used them yet?
I answered you
Am
twice.
I muted?
No. Can you hear me?
Am I gone?
Can you hear me, Sherry? The hell is Sherry doing? Sherry, can you hear me?
Brooks, why are you sitting up there saying nothing?
Can you hear me now, Sherry? Samuel Yonka, same. But to answer Sherry's question, they use scent dogs, but the cadaver dogs hit on Mad Dog's truck. I could hear Sherry just fine. Sherry couldn't hear me. I don't know what happened. Her lies, I agree, Metal Dust. The mother stated she was cooking dinner. She was probably making chicken. And talked about drawing a bath for Javea. Obviously, there was no bath for Javea. But you know, you can poke a hole in a lie and find the truth. What do they say? Scratch a lie, find a thief. Every time. Every time. And I will go ahead and confidently say, whatever they're finding out there, and it seems to be something pretty significant, they're not going to tell us any time soon. Hi, Jean. Jean said evening. Prayers they find her. I agree, Jean. She deserves to be found. Woo! All right, we're coming on 100 people in here. Has everyone hit the like? And don't be shy. Invite your friends. Tell them. Jenica sent an email of her newest carving. Girl, tell you what, you guys and your crap.
All right, guys, thank you for joining WRDW Plus. Obviously, if you guys have been following us for the last 2 hours or so, you know that there are major developments in the case of Javea Harris, as the focus is now her family's home in Aiken County, where this entire investigation started exactly 7 days ago when Javea's mother called 911 saying that she was abducted and had disappeared as well. We have your Ethan Hunter on the scene here. Ethan, you were the first one out there, and we sent you out there to get some video of that memorial behind you, and then investigators just showed up to the scene. What are you seeing now, and what do you know?
Yeah, I came here just a couple hours ago now just to see the memorial, see what had been set up. Your Sydney Hood, who's been live all afternoon as well, all evening, was here in the afternoon and saw there was nobody here. The crime scene tape was not up. Investigators were not here. Some people were coming and going to give things to the memorial, as they have been doing since this weekend when it started. We spoke.
Well, thank you for bringing that up, Metal Dust, because you're exactly right. Remember the mother stating that they don't have anything to do with their neighbors because of drugs. Dawn Wells said the same thing. Now, also, I'm going to pick your brain. Mad Dog said they've had a lot of people snooping around the property. Okay? Neither can be proven. I'm telling you, it's almost like these flop at life parents get a damn playbook and they just add to it and add to it and add to it. And I'm doing a show later this week, and I'm going to compare, if you think it's a good idea, the similarities between Javea and the Summer Wells case. Because I'm telling you, they have said a lot of the exact same things that the Wells have said. Hello, Lisa Hamlet. And by the way, quit sending us redheads out into the heat.
To that woman who started it all yesterday. But that was the scene just a few hours ago, and then just an hour or so later, I came out to get some updated pictures of the memorial, to talk to some people who are coming, leaving things by after work. As we'll show you in just a moment, a lot of people have come to continue to give things to this memorial, and really now to watch what investigators are doing behind me. But when I came up, investigators had returned to the scene here, had crime scene taped off just half of this yard, and were going in between cars and the house. Actually, right when I got here, I saw a couple of investigators. It did not look like they had been back in the woods yet, but I watched them put bug spray on and then walk straight back into the woods when I got here now just about 2 hours ago. And then we've really just watched the scene play out from there. We watched some investigators. We did not know who was here at first, because we had just pulled up to the scene and there were about 4 or 5 unmarked cars. We now know that's the Aiken County Sheriff's Department, as well as the Aiken County Coroner's Office, working, just helping out with whatever the Sheriff's Department may need. But we've seen them take a shovel from the back seat, from the trunk of their car, walk back there. We have seen them coming in and out of the house with what appears to be brown evidence bags, as well as latex gloves, and looks like they were sifting through some objects in the backyard, kind of sifting through some dirt, taking things in tarps, taking things in evidence bags in and out of the house, and from the backyard back up into the cars as well. So that's really the scene that we've seen. It has grown in the number of just people out here.
Janica, why don't they just give the location of where Javea is? You know, I ask that in every case. Why don't you just spill it? Why don't you just tell them? But these dirtbags, they know they've got one last card to play, and that is, where is Javea? This could be some deal they're making with them, saying, hey, give us a location and we'll go ahead and get your bond hearing set before September. Give us a location and we'll help you get an attorney. Give us a location and we're going to go ahead and let you have a commissary. You never know. We've heard it all over the years.
I would say there's close to about 50 or so just people that have come to give things to the memorial, give stuffed animals, toys, balloons. We know that Javea loved Minnie Mouse. There's a lot of Minnie Mouse stuffed animals, a lot of Minnie Mouse balloons. It seems that everybody's kind of going to the same party store there and bringing back the same Minnie and Mickey Mouse balloons, because they know that she loved Minnie Mouse. As well as some stuffed animals as well. If you can hear the dogs, there's been some dogs that are coming, nothing to be alarmed about, but there's been some dogs outside as well ever since we've been out here that live in a neighbor's yard. But we also have been talking about, there's not a whole lot of properties around here. There's a few neighbors that we've been speaking with since we were allowed down this road a few days ago, but some abandoned properties as well. So it just shows you these people, so many people from the Aiken community, from the greater community. I talked with one man who lives in Columbia, some people from Augusta, everybody coming to this spot to pay their respects to Javea, to show that she is loved, give a balloon, give a toy, do anything that they can, because everybody's kind of asking the question right now, what can you do when this unthinkable tragedy hits the community? And everybody answers that question in a different way.
And it looks like things, Ethan, might be wrapping up behind you, we see investigators in the back of their truck. It looked like he wrapped up some of the stuff that he had and then had put it in a trash bag. And then we also know that the coroner's office, who was out there assisting the sheriff's office, they were in that white Dodge that was right out front. Looks like they left about 10 minutes ago or so that you had stated. So again, it looks like things may be wrapping up at this point, but we'll.
Sherry, this is probably the smartest thing you've ever said. No pregnant woman dug a grave. For real. You really think that she went out there and started moving earth to put her daughter in there? And anytime I hear someone say, but they confessed, didn't they, Brooks? They confessed. Criminals lie. They lie. It's a piece of paper to them. They don't care if it's notarized. They don't care if a judge gives them like 6 more days in county for telling a fib. But I'm telling you right now, you're exactly right, Sherry. You must have had your multivitamin today. Tell you what, you're exactly right. And thank you so much to V for gifting a Crime Lines and Lies membership. Who got it?
Continue to stick with it and bring you guys live updates. But again, the focus now on Javea Harris's family home right now. If you've been with us for about the last 2 hours or so, you know that investigators showed up to the home, taped it off, and then we're going in and out of the home. They had some brown evidence paper bags, it looks like. We got a view from inside the home briefly, too, while the front door was open. They were also back behind the home, too, and we saw investigators at one point actually grab a shovel and head back behind the home. We have video of them going through debris, picking some things up. Looks like they put it in a barrel or a bag. It was unclear at first what exactly they were doing or what evidence brought them back to this home. But we do know from sources, they did tell us that this was about evidence. It was not about collecting remains of Javea. I know so many people want answers as to what exactly happened to her and want to see that resolved. But again, this was an evidentiary, search at the house to try to find anything that they can. They had yellow evidence markers too, Ethan. Does it look like things are wrapping up a bit? I know it's really busy on the road with people showing up for the memorial and just people who are curious about what's going on. Is it calming down a bit on the road in with what investigators are doing?
Well, on the road, it's not calming down at all. In fact, more people continue to show up every few minutes. It seems we showed you a few videos earlier of the street next to me, just to my right, just full of cars as far as you can see. This is not a big road, so like I said earlier, about 50 or so people now here, some of them still staying in their cars, some of them coming out to watch what investigators are doing, to put down some stuffed animals, some balloons, what have you, at the memorial. It does look like we could see investigators wrapping up just a little bit. They have been out here for as long as I've been out here, which has been about 2.5 hours now, maybe a little bit more. So that's, they have been out here for a long time. When we first got here, we saw them bring a case of water and put it in a cooler that was like a fresh case of water. They just dumped it into the cooler. So it almost looked like they planned on being here for a long time.
Mirror V, how long have they lived there? Do we know yet? I've got conflicting reports on that. I heard that they left Union County in January, but then I've heard that they only have been there since April. So I'm going to go ahead and say not that long. Let's take a second and just remember little Javea.
Hi, baby. Hey.
What you want to say about the baby?
Jacob, baby. Hey.
What you want to say about the baby?
Jacob, baby. Jacob, baby.
V said, so either way, they were living there when she died. Well, I don't think they're going to know until they find this beautiful little baby. And then the coroner, who is on scene and helping them right now, is going to have to determine when she passed away. She could have, and you know I'm using that term to be polite. They could have been carrying her around like Harmony Montgomery since they left Union County when DHS came to get them.
Trash that they have been sifting through with almost looks like archaeological sifters, as well as gathering it all with shovels and seeing deputies and investigators with latex gloves, with the shovels, with tools, cameras and evidence markers. It really just looks like some evidence, like I said, both big and small, has been collected for the last 2.5 hours.
And we also have Sydney Hood on the scene there. She just said that she saw 3 of them go into the house at this point. So the investigation is still ongoing, but there's 2 different things unfolding at this house of Javea Harris. It's not only the investigation and the investigators being there, but it's also
they have forensic anthropologists sifting through the dirt. They've come across something, but we won't know until we know. I think we have done this enough times to know that when they start bringing out the sifters and the coroner gets out of the air conditioning to walk with them, they might have come across something.
also the community response too, right? And Ethan, if you can still hear me, yes, point the camera towards all the people who showed up and who are out here supporting Javea and her and the rest of her family and looking at what this investigation is and what's going on. If we could, there we go. And this is what's been incredible through this entire case is the community support and everyone showing up to find out what happened. Everyone wanted to help too, but everyone is showing up in this neighborhood. And if you guys are not from Aiken County, South Carolina, or where this has happened, this is a neighborhood that's off of a main road in Aiken County, and it's tucked away in a very quiet and secluded neighborhood back here. There's a couple of vacant homes next door. I talked to some neighbors who were very friendly with me out there who wanted the best for Javea and were very saddened to hear the news about all of this. And they are all showing up and showing support. So again, it's a quiet neighborhood that's just been completely uprooted by all of this. And you heard what the mother had to say on the 911 call too, saying some things about the neighborhood and some neighbors who are out there. But still, look how many people are showing up to support and putting balloons and stuffed animals down at the memorial here. So really 2 different stories unfolding at the home of Javea Harris that's now become a focal point of this investigation today, as investigators with the sheriff's office and the Aiken County Coroner's office assisting them today in new information that led them back to this house. We still don't know what led them here, what information they were told. But again, this was not roped off to begin with. Once the parents were arrested, everyone really cleared out and it was free access. I mean, I know you can trespass as we lose Ethan's shot here. I know you can trespass onto property, but it was not roped off every day that I was out there.
Looks fine now.
Yeah, the shot's in and out. The service is a little spotty back there too. Ethan, we've got you here. Talk about
sorry about
some
that.
of the. No, you're all good. Talk about some of the people who have shown up to the memorial and what you've seen. I mean, that has grown substantially over the last few days. and over really the last few hours too.
Yeah, it really has. You can see people. I'll have our cameraman show you just some of the people that have shown up here to our left. You can see a lot of people that are looking at that side of the house and giving parking. Our Sydney Hood was just leaving the scene here. She's been here for a while, as long as I've been here almost, and she said that there's hardly a place to park as you drive through this neighborhood. We haven't driven on the other side streets through around this neighborhood, but there's hardly a place to park. You can see it to the right as well. Just dozens of cars lining the street as people have shown up. Some people have come to give balloons and Minnie Mouse stuffed animal and some fresh flowers, which you can't even see now because they were the first things here under this mailbox. She said that she was getting up to leave. She had decided that she just had to do something. We were talking about what do you do when something like this happens. She decided that she had to do something. So she was going to bring a Minnie Mouse stuffed animal and some flowers and just lay them down at the mailbox because she said she doesn't know where Javea is resting, but she wanted to show her that she was loved. And she said her 3-year-old granddaughter.
The neighbors might be onto something. They might be onto something because this has been going on. Let's see, we've been live for an hour and a half. They have brought out many evidence bags. The coroner is not just out there on call, he's on the scene. And we have a forensic anthropologist sifting through the dirt and tarps out. Okay? This is truly heartbreaking. It's not anything that anybody should have to stomach at all. Well, Mrs. Italy, we've missed you too. What I'm going to do is I'm going to keep following this, and I know you all will too. Confessions are, when it comes to people like Cookie and Mad Dog, you got to poke some holes through that. And since they have a gift to give, and the sheriff's office is really sick of their BS, and they're freaking out because they won't get to see anybody about a bond till September, it appears to me, through my binoculars, not telescope, that they are wheeling and dealing behind bars, hoping to get a bond, hoping to get a lawyer, and they have been on a wild goose chase. They have been all over Fairfield County. They have been all over Chester County. The particular water source that was spoken about, well, she's not there. And now, look where they're at. Right outside that 14 by 80 trailer, digging in the woods. They're coming out with evidence bags, one after another. Coroner's not just sitting outside on call, he's on scene. On top of that, they have an anthropologist out there sifting. And they don't have another court date as of right now until September, because they got their butt kicked at their last court date. They were told no bond and no attorney, get back to your cell. The only special treatment that has been given is Cookie gets maxi pads instead of tampons because she had a baby last week. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Disgusting, disgusting people. All right, Keep your reminders on. Please make sure you're subscribed. I'm so tired of YouTube fixing what is not broken. Jeez, they're driving me nuts today. And like I said, keep your reminders on, because if something comes out they found her, well, you're going to hear it here amongst friends. And you guys are the best friends a chick like me can ever have. All right, you guys get something to eat, you get some sleep, and we will continue talking about this.